Yeah, this might as well just be a series centered on every character that this... Well, I mean, the real thing is that this week has been really, really strange for me. I mean, channel-wise, so what you see is what you're gonna get. And I should be doing Event of the Day, and yeah, that... It really doesn't take that long to do Event of the Day. I'm just, you know, doing other stuff. So as we're gonna go through this and randomize and try to get Ayaka, if nothing else... more time to explain. If you haven't seen any of these makeup videos before, I mean, they're not exactly character reviews, so I didn't want to call them that. Because depending on what I get, mainly Zektast, the background and god combinations can interfere with the character specifically. Obvious examples are Mizuki on 7th Curse, Commoner on Jury, to some extent, and things like, you know, again, Zektast and Azal with Toshiaki, because Toshiaki is not played the same on those timelines. I mean, well, he breaks a lot of things, but you basically don't play the game the same as you would with most other characters that are mostly normal. For example, Miku also has a very interesting Zektast interaction, which does not translate to other gods. So, as we probably just do one more here, and we'll just try to remember whatever background that we get is what we'll set for Ayaka as we get into quick play here. Ithotu, Curious Birthmark, character-specific random item. So Ithotu, Curious Bookmark A, and then we'll play an Ayaka run. So, although Curious, again, here, Curious Birthmark, oh no, I get a curse when I take any damage, but we're playing Ayaka, so you do want that. And if I didn't get character-specific perks, I might just switch it to character-specific. I think random items were on. If not, so be it. We're just going to play with what we're given as we get into Ithotu, Curious Bookmark, character-exclusive random item Ayaka. So yeah, I'm saying that more for... And the pause is for the timestamps on this platform, because I am thinking of many different things in this run already, because we're on Ithotu. We're just going to try to stuff curses. We could die outright. Curses are more dangerous in this update, but Dexterity, Strength, second Mystery, Takushi-san, second encounter, yes, and then maybe a light check if we get the town effect. I mostly go over that just in case anyone new's watching. I can at least teach you the sigils of the lighthouse. That's what I remember. And then Ayaka, I personally stopped using weapons as Ayaka because of how there are certain characters you can do this for. Most of them are, the two main ones are Ayaka and Haru, because they mainly don't work with weapons. You'll see why in a moment with Ayaka I don't choose to get a weapon. You can, that's not a bad decision, I just value Doom a bit more. So we'll stick with this empty bottle, and I'll show you what I mean in a moment. We get the rumor really quickly. Grab some funds, become an occult witch, and let us see what we're doing here. Sailors, Flood, Teacher, Botanist, Ramen. So regardless, you're looking for a town mystery. We may get more mysteries in the future, but for the most part, you usually have at least one town mystery. If you do, even if it's something like Metamorphosis, you have to take it as Ayaka, in my opinion, because especially if you have character-specific perks, because you want curses. If you don't have character-specific perks, and you're working with, say, all perks on Commoner, then just die. There are specific god and or backstory combinations that you just die immediately, so there's no helping that. That's just bad luck, which is, I mean, I consider it part of the player, you know, skill set, but it's not actually very skillful, so that much I will admit immediately. I usually grab cigarettes just as a safety precaution, but obviously we would want an Ayaka perk as well. That's the other trade-off here. So instead of grabbing a weapon, you can grab an Ayaka perk, which I would want to do in about 5 checks. If we get Eldritch Possession instead, so be it. If we get Doom Effigy, we reroll. But yeah, we'll take anything I can get, and then we'll do Monument, because we'll do Monument just to get our Doom back. So in place of a weapon, we grab preferably Blood Mania, but Eldritch Possession I'm willing to play with for the moment. And whatever happens is what happens. To that end, I should have actually grabbed the weapon with the 2 tree uses. That's the other option select you can do. If you don't grab Blood Mania immediately from the History Club, if and when you have the Mystery Club unlocked, oh my goodness, I can't speak. Then yes, you want to grab a weapon instead with the funds you get from the tree, if you're doing that specific opener. But if you're not, then you play Ayaka normally, and you deal with the consequences. In my experience, it hasn't been good. It can be okay, but usually it's not as great. We have Ryoko now, but we don't have a weapon, unfortunately. Alternatively, another option select RNG-wise would have been to grab a brick at the vending machine when I was grabbing cigarettes. But obviously, that didn't happen. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have to go to the police station to make this encounter a lot easier on ourselves. If we have Vigil, we'll pop into Vigil, because we will likely be unable to level up for a while. So, not much to say. The good thing about Eldritch Possession is that it does provide some protection against status effects that heavily debilitate you. So, double flashbacks, 2 stacks of hallucinations, stacking hallucinations in general, brain damage. So, not dying to those is nice. I'm going to handcuff this, or try to handcuff this. And let's do a sensor really quickly, and hopefully I'll remember to take it off. We're taking 4% Doom, but that's not much I can do here. Thankfully, I think we do normal damage. Yeah, we do 9 damage here, so not having a weapon is okay here-ish, but unfortunately I have to take 8 Doom for this, but not much I can do about it. That's just the way that Ithot 2 and Ayaka works out, so realistically speaking, I maybe should not have grabbed a perk from the lighthouse, but because we need to level up as quick as possible, we will actually heal or increase experience in the bath. We could take Flood now, but I need to hold out and try to grab something else. If I don't get Blood Mania before Flood, I may have to save Flood for last. That's just the... You do not want to take any forced boss mystery as Ayaka without Blood Mania. On Harbinger, anyway, because it's not great. You take too much damage, basically. So, we do get Blood Mania, though, so we're dandy. We can actually just heal Reason, because based on how many curses we're going to keep getting, we should be perfectly okay, especially with Eldritch Possession. If we can't get 8 in every stat, then at least, yeah, so this... sorry, 6 curses, 8 damage kicks. I think I mentioned that it was like 4 or 5 damage for 4 kicks. Never mind, you do 8. So now if we miss 2 out of 4, that would have been very, very bad. But normally that doesn't happen for kicks anyway. If it does, you're like me and you have to figure out a brace play. Preferably you should not, because it does save you more HP overall, but when you're unlucky, then you have to do brace plays. So what I mean by that is, for example, I'm not willing to take -3 all here. Actually, that'll just end up killing me. So we just do like 1 big kick instead. We could actually do... Can we? I think we can do this. This is usually guaranteed 2 kicks. So we do 10 damage. We get 20 damage on Desperate Struggle. I should have actually traded stamina. I don't know why I didn't, but you get the point. It's very, very good to have 3 or lower HP. But if you're in events and you fail them like this, then you need to be able to know the events and choose the options that lose you the less amount of experience. So, for example, or don't lose you the run in general. I'm losing my track with words. Let me hold on. Let me not speak for a moment. Do we have a spell? No, we don't. So I have to risk Doom here. That's just that we do have Flood. So Flood is going to be very low Doom cost on average. And again, I keep saying over and over again, but I think it's warranted. If that ever changes, where resting in Flood eventually costs Doom, it should be... I don't agree it would be stacking Doom, but if it costs just 1 more Doom, then so be it. Because, well... You have to remember that investigations usually do a lot more than even just 2% Doom. So, even if rest scaled to, like, 1 plus an extra 1 Doom per rest, it's well worth it because you lose more HP in general. That's just how things go. So, we'll do this here. I could trade stamina at some point. No, I can't. That's right. Because all you can do is lead Shiro, protect Shiro-san, or try to cut your way out with nothing, because if you don't have a fire axe, you only have these 2 options. So, we're taking extra Doom damage here, but again, we're in Flood, so low Doom. And as long as we get good curses, like, you don't want Suicidal or Paranoia. After you get Eldritch Possession, you want to avoid those, and Branded, and Survivor's Guilt, of course, but ultimately, it's the game is in Ayaka's favor once she gets Blood Moon. Eldritch Possession is a maybe. We got Brain Damage and Stalker, but we don't use Knowledge. That's why I don't use Knowledge. Some people like to use Knowledge Weapons on Ayaka. I don't, because Brain Damage is too damaging of a stat. Now, obviously, if you have Blood Mania, it kind of doesn't matter anyway, because you're fast enough to do anything you want. But, I mean, for the purposes of, you know, playing into a stat at all, if anything, then yeah, we should be able to do... Oh no, wait, 8 actions, sorry. So potential 30 damage, but guaranteed 20 damage. Like, this is Ayaka. I mentioned it when she came out, and I'll mention it again now. She's a very slow burn character, and if you survive the slow burn at the beginning, then you should be able to... You have a very high win rate, basically, after the first 2 mysteries. If not, you're either unlucky or you made a bad choice somewhere. Usually you're unlucky, because Ayaka is not really... It's not really hard to pick up once you know what you're doing with her, so... We're just gonna take the free out, and we don't need to pick up these other researchers, both for Doom and because we have more than enough damage. LOL, damage researchers on Ayaka. Just grab the Theologist and run, usually. We didn't even heal our Reason all the way, but we don't need to. We are Ayaka, so theoretically this should work out. We definitely one-shot this thing here, and then we two-shot the boss in total here. And then Doom Effigy completes everything out, just in case you were a bit unlucky with Doom. The scaling there isn't the strongest, but hey, if Ayaka gets nerfed, it's gonna be a bit bad, but because Curse is already hurting Ayaka somewhat, the slow burn is real. It's real. When you get slow burned, you feel the slow burn. But if Ayaka gets nerfed, it's not as bad as if, say, for some reason Yashiro got re-nerfed to 150 experience. That was really weird. Or 140. It was something really bad. Still, though, Ghost Encounters are the bane of Ayaka's existence, so I could have grabbed Ayaka's Chalk, but even then, it would have been a very bad encounter, so just take the Doom hit there and move on with life. I do have a pack of cigarettes, don't I? I do. I just stored them for some reason. But we may want to hold off on that. Actually, you know what? We do have an old coin. We're Ayaka, actually. We're Ayaka, so we can remove us. We don't need this many. We don't need this many. Although, I think 10 is the next threshold for doing comfortable kicks, essentially. I'll have to see. I'm on 9 right now, so when I get into my next encounter, let's check really quickly. So, -1 stamina, that's an injury, actually, but we don't need the dexterity. I usually don't rely on dexterity because flashbacks, and there's so many injuries in flashback, or flashbacks too, but injuries and curses that end up decreasing your dexterity that I don't rely on my dexterity reaching high, and therefore I just stick with strength because there are less. Funny enough, there are less curses. That's another plus in strengths department. There are less injuries and curses that affect strength compared to every other stat. Literally every other stat. I'm not joking. Like, you are more likely to get anything else, because I think there may be 2, but Broken Bone is definitely 1 injury that affects strength by 1. Ultimately 2 stats because 1 stat and 1 dexterity, but you get what I mean. There aren't a lot of debilitating strength things. And if there are, I mean, if me saying this causes it, I'm not really going to complain because it's a very powerful stat regardless. I'm still going to be building strength. I don't care. It's that valuable. Another brain damage suicidal, so 3 stacks of brain damage by now. I'll keep these curses. Again, they're not really too bad. And I think Doom Effigy is really decreasing Doom here. I mean, it's maybe by like -3, but Doom does not decrease at all during Harbinger. Also, we can get rid of Nicotine Rush with the old coin. And I think Ayaka's Pendant too, or Onyx Medallion. Anywho, let's find out. So, yeah, you can definitely do 2 guaranteed kicks, which is more than you need. We basically are... Ayaka's limbs are katanas. She has become the Razor, so... Yeah, this is Ayaka in a nutshell. Now, I could still die. If I get 2 stacks of brain damage somehow, I will die, but... Like, you get the point. Ayaka is a very powerful character in the right hands. I'm even gonna leave the Seaside at max threat level because I'm just so confident. Now, stat rolls aside, that was 12 plus 2, so never assume you're gonna pass every single event as Ayaka. You can assume you'll pass a good amount of them, just with my RNG, no, that's not gonna happen. We can even fight this boss if we wanted to. For giggles, let's get into it. So if we're on timeline B, so be it. We'll give it the fight of its life, but it really, like, we're gonna take -2 all, and this thing's gonna die. In fact, we might even just kill it right out. Like, this Ayaka allows you to actually do ending A's on Harbinger if you're doing a weird Harbinger challenge. We lost Bath, but who cares? I didn't even see how much Doom decreased by because I'm Ayaka, so... Although, again, for me, most of my issues with Ayaka are the slow burn and the RNG. Theoretically, if I complain about RNG to that same degree, Toshiaki, I should hate Toshiaki somewhat as well, which I kind of do, but Toshiaki, again, the difference between Ayaka and Toshiaki, and it's important to distinguish this because normally the argument between better or good characters, or the best characters, is between Ayaka and Toshiaki. Ayaka usually just holds #1. No contest there. But the reason for that is that Toshiaki's Doom decrease is reliable, as opposed to Ayaka's, where you're not sure, if you're going for History Club, you're not sure if you're going to get it. And if you are in... And if you're hoping that your level up is going to give you it, and then you you have to reroll like 2 or 3 times, and you don't, until you finally get Blood Mania, then you could Doom out, depending on your circumstances. But when you don't Doom out and things go well, or on average, then this is the run you'll get as Ayaka on Harbinger. So, and obviously knowing the events helps somewhat. But if I helped anyone else, I hope I hope to have helped someone somewhere in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, please subscribe to the channel if you want to support me in any way as of right now, and I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye!